go ahead and get started. I'm going to invite the majors to come up. The parents, please come on. Being here this morning. Motors, if you please should come up as well. John. Again, good morning and thank you for being here. Operation Click It or Ticket has been an endeavor that's been going on for a number of years, but it's always a good reminder for our youth, our education system. We have a partnership with the schools underway as well. And this is something that occurs throughout the state. But locally, it's an important endeavor for us. We want to make sure that our children, our teens, every year we have a new 16 or 17-year-old that gets behind into the seat of a vehicle to drive. We want to remind them that they have to use their seatbelts, the importance of peer pressure in that effort to make sure that they're telling each other, put that seatbelt on when you get into my vehicle. Today we have two parents, a tragic loss in their lives that have maintained their message throughout the years regarding seatbelt safety. As part of this effort, we also have Operation Dry Spring underway regarding alcohol awareness, underage drinking, and the issues regarding synthetic drugs as well. But our focus today, again, is Click It or Ticket. And I have Major Ron Stucker here. Please step forward, sir.
Good morning. We appreciate you all being out here today and helping us get this message out about traffic safety and awareness. And particularly this year, as we want to put an emphasis on traffic safety for our young people and teenagers. This is a real exciting time in Florida. It's spring break. We're going to have students from all over Florida, both college students and high school students, who are going to take a chance to get a week off from school. They're going to go to the beach, enjoy the sun, enjoy their friends. But while they're doing that, we want them to be safe when they're doing it. And as law enforcement, we want to make sure we not only have an enforcement campaign for this, but also an awareness campaign, an education campaign to remind them to be safe while they're out there. We know that for teenagers, the leading cause of death in the United States for a teenager is a traffic crash. We also know that teenagers are 4 times more likely than adults to be involved in a traffic crash, and the more kids we put in a car, the more likely they are to be involved in a traffic crash. But we also know that seatbelts save lives. We know that a seatbelt will keep someone from being thrown around inside a vehicle or being ejected outside of a vehicle if they are involved in a crash. Unfortunately, studies tell us that teenagers only wear their seatbelt about 50% of the time. And so we have a group in our population that is most likely to be involved in a crash, but are least likely to wear their seatbelts. And so today we want to come out here and remind them, put on your seatbelts and save a life. We want people to look around inside their vehicle before they start that car up, and we want them to put their seatbelt on. As Captain Evans mentioned, we'll be working with the Florida Highway Patrol, other law enforcement agencies around the country or around the state with our Click It or Ticket campaign to have our deputies out looking for folks who are not wearing seatbelts. That we can educate them to wear that seatbelt, or if we have to, we'll cite them. $114 if you get caught not wearing a seatbelt, and nobody wants to pay that today. So we're encouraging people to go out and wear their seatbelts, particularly young people, as they're enjoying their spring break. We want them to be safe and do that. I'd like to introduce now Major Cindy Williams. I think you all know Major Williams. She's the commander of Troop D for the Florida Highway Patrol, who is always involved in traffic safety campaigns and a great partner for the Sheriff's Office. Major?
Thank you, Major Steph. Thank you for allowing us to be here today with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. We appreciate it. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Garcia and Mrs. Grant for being here today, because it really strikes home when you realize that there's no victimless crime for the person not wearing a seatbelt. And yes, I said crime. It's a simple crime, yes, but you're not wearing a seatbelt. And you not only injure yourself, but you can injure others in the car when you become a flying object in the car. National Click It or Ticket campaign started on March 1st, which was Friday. Our motors and many of our other units within the agency have already rolled out and started enforcing this as of Friday. You will see law enforcement all over the nation also enforcing this. It runs through March 16th of this year. Does that mean that we stop enforcing seatbelts after that? No. It just means we're making it a priority, and we're going to continue to make it a priority because it's such an important issue in the state and in this nation. Seatbelts are the most effective safety feature in vehicles today. We need to utilize them. We wouldn't think twice about going on riding the Hulk at a Universal and not put the safety belt on. Why are our children thinking twice before they put a seatbelt on in the car? Click It or Ticket campaign began in 1993. And the seatbelt compliance rate, along with this aggressive enforcement and safety programs such as you're seeing today, utilizing Mrs. Grant and Mrs. Mrs. Garcia, has increased that from 72.6% to 87.4% in 2010 for helping us climate. However, we're also noticing that the teen drivers are not getting the high compliance. So we not only need the help of the press here today, we appreciate it, of the law enforcement officers that are out enforcing it, and the safety programs. To you parents watching today, we need your help. We need you to say, if you're going to drive that car, please buckle up. In 2012, we investigated over 272 fatal crashes in Central Florida. It involved 292 fatalities. Of the 159 fatalities that occurred, 83 people died in Buffalo. That's 83 people. Could all of them been saved? Can't say that. Could a good majority of them been saved? Yes. But what I would have liked is the opportunity to make sure that they did get saved with that seatbelt. Again, thank you for everybody being here today, and I'd like to turn it back over to Major Scott.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce to you now Mrs. Lorisse Garcia and Mrs. Wendy Grant. Tragically, 2 years ago, their teenage children, Eddie Culverhouse, who was 19, and Laura Grant, who was 17, were killed in a traffic crash on the way to the beach. Just out having fun with their friends one day, but unfortunately lost their lives. And in this last 2 years, these two ladies have really dedicated their efforts to public awareness for traffic safety, and particularly for teenagers buckling up. And they're honoring the memory of their children by encouraging others to be safe as they're out on the highways. And so, Ms. Grant, Ms. Garcia, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. And we'd like to thank the Orange County Sheriff's Department for allowing us the opportunity to share our story with the community for the first time. We can't imagine a more perfect platform than the Click It or Ticket campaign. You know, you spend a lot of years trying to teach your children the things that you think are important in life and the things that you want them to know about life, and it was no different with Laura. I would impart my words of wisdom to her, and she would look at me with a blank stare, just wasn't getting it. Then one day, a young man comes into her life, and he's telling her all the same things I've been telling her for years, and she looks at me as if she's just heard this for the first time, and then announces to me that Eddie Culverhouse is a genius. That is how it was with Eddie and Laura. They taught each other all the important things. He made her laugh, she made him study. He was her strength, and she was his weakness. They were better together than they were apart, and they were figuring out life together and beginning to figure out the responsibilities of adulthood together. It was fascinating, and it was a privilege that I was able to watch. But February 6th of 2011 changed our lives forever. But through tragedy, Laura and Eddie's legacy of love has lived on, and through this love, a foundation was born, the Always Wear Your Seatbelt Foundation. That they died at 17 and 19 is a tragedy beyond words. That their passion, promise, and strength that was so filled with high spirits, courage, and humor lives on to save and inspire lives is nothing short of a miracle. It is difficult to remember all the statistics, but it's easy to remember Laura and Eddie. At the time of the accident, the statistics told us that 5,000 teens die annually in automobile-related accidents. It is the #1 cause of death among this age group. A major factor in this statistic is that only 38% of teens wear their seatbelts. Not wearing a seatbelt during an accident makes you 30 times more likely to be ejected from the vehicle. These statistics became our reality. On Sunday, February 6th of 2011, 6 of our beloved teenagers were on their way to New Smyrna Beach. A tragic automobile accident took the lives of my daughter, 17-year-old Laura Grant, and her 19-year-old boyfriend, Eddie Culverhouse, Lorisse's son. The accident severely injured 2 of the other teens, and there were 2 more left suffering with minor injuries. A passionate message has been born out of Laura and Eddie's story. They were 2 amazing young people whose lives and love have touched so many. The Always Wear Your Seatbelt Foundation was founded in loving memory of these two incredible teens who seemed to know that they would be together forever. The mission of the foundation is to save lives through raising awareness and instilling accountability to always wear your seatbelt. If not for yourself, for Laura and Eddie. Our goal is to bring this message to teens in such a way that they will never forget to buckle up. This is Lorisse Garcia, Eddie's mother.
Thank you. As Wendy has shared with you the story of Laura and Eddie and a little bit about how the Always Wear Your Seatbelt Foundation was founded, I would like to take this time to elaborate on how the story of the foundation was formed and share some highlights of the past 2 years as well as our goals for the future. It's been 2 years since the accident, and it's amazing to think of all the blessings and miracles that have happened. We were two grieving mothers, our families joined for life by the joint funeral that seemed more like a backwards wedding. What started with a simple sticker to hand out at the funeral as a reminder to buckle up for Laura and Eddie has turned into a large crusade of family, friends, schools, and a community spreading the message to save lives and buckle up for Laura and Eddie. One thing that Wendy and I discussed weeks after the accident was that we both shared a determination to carry on with a purpose and resolve, largely for our other children, Laura's sister Allie, who was 16 or 15 at the time, and Eddie's brother Jake, who was 18. We had heard of parents who had lost children and become so paralyzed by the grief that their surviving children felt as if they had lost their parents as well. We knew we had to live on and carry on, and the students and alumni of Boone High School, along with our family and friends, helped us with that purpose. The simple sticker that was made to hand out at the funeral turned into our foundation logo months later. As we were planning the funeral, the owner of Chili Spoons, where Laura had worked, asked if we could have a fundraiser to celebrate the lives of Laura and Eddie. 2 weeks after the accident, our family, friends, and community held a very successful fundraiser in their memory. Wendy and I did not even attend as we did not have the strength. The first Always Wear Your Seatbelt shirt was made and sold. The money raised was donated to the 2 teenagers that were still in the hospital. The following week, we received a letter in the mail from Orlando Water Sports, AWYS, where Eddie had previously worked. They wanted to have a fundraiser in honor of Laura and Eddie, a night ride of wakeboarding, which was one of their favorite sports. We were touched by their generous offer and decided on a May event in honor of Laura's 18th birthday. Our goal was to raise $3,000 for 3 educational scholarships for the graduating class of 2011 at Boone High School, where Laura was expected to graduate later that month. Once again, our family, friends, and amazing community held a very successful event, so much so that AWYS offered to make it an annual event. It was the first time that Wendy and I had the strength to show up and thank the community for their support. These 2 events have become our annual fundraisers for the foundation. Each year, they have become more successful as our story continues to grow and reach more people. About this time, Wendy and I began having conversations about the outpouring of love and support from our family, friends, and amazing teenagers that never stopped reminding everyone to always wear their seatbelt for Laura and Eddie. We ran out of stickers, and people wanted more stickers. We ran out of shirts, and people wanted more shirts. We decided to take this summer off to rest and pray about the future of this idea of starting a foundation. In August 2011, we began the long process of becoming a 501c3 nonprofit organization. In September 2012, we received our official approval. In the meantime, with our permission, students at Boone High School founded an Always Wear Your Seatbelt Club with over 200 students joining. Cornerstone Charter Academy did the same. 3 blood drives have been held at Boone High School in the past 2 years in memory of Laura and Eddie and the teens that received blood after the accident. We have awarded a total of $8,000 in educational scholarships to graduating seniors. Over the past 12 months, we've launched our official video, have joined in partnership with State Farm, the Celebrate My Drive campaign, where they are focusing on teen driver education and awareness. In partnership with Boone High School and our community, Boone received a $100,000 grant from State Farm during the Celebrate My Drive campaign in 2012. During this past month of February, to honor the second anniversary, we held our own Seatbelt Safety Awareness Month, where we invested into Always Wear Your Seatbelt Foundation billboards to reach the community, specifically teenagers, before spring break. We launched our new website and we held our third annual Celebrate the Lives of Laura and Eddie fundraiser, as well as we participated in a variety of community events to spread our mission and gain pledges from the community to always wear your seatbelt. Our goal is to collect 1 million of these pledges to always wear your seatbelt and also increase the percentage of teens wearing their seatbelts. Most recently, we have partnered with XL 106.7 Operation Princess Project, where we will have the opportunity to encourage 1,000 teenage young women this coming Saturday to sign a prom pledge to make smart choices during prom activities and to always wear their seatbelt. The opportunity to present today with the Orange County Sheriff's Office Click It or Ticket campaign was a goal that was reached sooner than we ever expected. An opportunity to share our story to the larger community is exactly what our mission is all about. As Wendy stated earlier, the mission of the Always Wear Your Seatbelt Foundation is to save lives through raising awareness and instilling accountability to always wear your seatbelt. Our goal is to bring this message to teens first. At the time of the accident, only 38% of teens were wearing their seatbelt. We need your help in sharing this message and in supporting the efforts of our foundation. Our hope is that another accident does not claim another innocent life, and that people realize that seatbelts do save lives. You can learn more about our organization at our website, www.alwayswearyourseatbelt.org, or our Facebook page. In closing, we'd like to thank the Orange County Sheriff's Office for allowing us the opportunity to share our story with the entire community for the first time. We can't think of a more perfect platform than the Click It or Ticket campaign. Thank you.
I can't thank Mrs. Garcia and Mrs. Grant enough for being here today. And as they said, these aren't about statistics, these are about real people. It's about raising awareness, it's about being educated, it's about making smart choices. Very briefly, as we finish up today, and you'll be hearing more about it for the month, but I just want to make you aware of a couple of other initiatives and campaigns that the Sheriff's Office, the Florida Highway Patrol, and our other law enforcement partners will be doing throughout the month for traffic safety. On March 15th, we will be doing a countywide via DUI checkpoint and a saturation patrol to combat drunk driving. But additionally, throughout the month, we will be working with other sheriff's offices in the Florida Sheriff's Association on what is Operation Dry Spring. And the focus of that is to prevent retailers from selling alcohol to underage persons. We do not want these teenagers, these young people who are under 21, out purchasing alcohol or drinking and driving. And so it will be a concerted effort for us to take enforcement action against any retailers that are selling alcohol to underage persons, and to try to prevent that. And we'll be talking to you more about that throughout the month. But as we finish up here today, the message we want to send out is just be aware, make smart choices. If you get in a car with somebody and they're not buckled up, don't start the car until they're buckled up. If you're out with your friends and someone's had a little bit to drink, be a good friend. Take their keys away, give them a ride, call someone to come pick them up. And for our retailers out there, let's make sure we're checking those IDs, and let's have a safe and happy spring break here in Florida without any more tragic stories. We thank you all for being here.
Again, that concludes. Thank you to the majors for being here, FHP, our partners. And again, please take this message forward. Not only do we want to buckle up, it's the law, but it's also life-saving. Thank you.